Hello guys, how are you all doing? Hope you're doing well. Now, this video is going to be slightly different because this video, I want to explain a few things. And I've obviously got it written down on this piece of paper right here, which you cannot see. But yeah, let's start. I just started like 3 times anyway, don't matter. But yeah, this is going to be a video where, as you see by the title, I obviously want to explain something. Well, actually, it's a few things I actually want to explain, not just explain one thing. I want to explain like 4 or 5 different things. But yeah, now, obviously, I have been on holiday and all that recently, so I do apologise that I didn't get a video out for Sunday, which was obviously like ages ago. This video will probably be uploaded on the Sunday. That's obviously the week after that. So yeah, and obviously I've been to Mallorca, which was actually amazing. So hot, but somehow it was hot over there, but somehow the heat in the UK is somehow more unbearable. I don't understand how that works, but the UK is like 33 degrees. Mallorca was like pushing at like 37 or something. I think the hottest day was, or 38. And it didn't even feel that hot, but somehow in England, like 28 degrees seems like it's burning. Like, what? It's just horrible. But anyway. Obviously, yeah, that's obviously what's happened. So yeah, anyway, I want to get on to the first thing that I want to talk about. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is actually about my kind of careers for like now and also the future. Now, obviously, at the moment, I want to try and do YouTube, music, and like obviously a brand company I want to make, and like a mass like vague set of things. Because yeah, but I just want to say with YouTube and music, I'm gonna start taking them really, really seriously. And what I mean by that is I'm gonna work more harder on it. Like I'm like YouTube, like you saw my Bloons Tower Defense 6 video. That was probably my most highest edited video. And obviously, as you can see by the views, obviously it kind of worked. So yeah, that's ever since then, that made me realise I've got to kind of take this more seriously. Like I will be taking it more seriously. Like I will be taking YouTube way more seriously. Like, as in like I'm actually going to work harder on the videos, where before I might be sitting there editing, I might be like, oh, I can't just get this over with. Oh, well, just the cutting, that's about it. But like, even just adding little zooms and like how I did in that video, just makes it so much more better, like to actually watch and just somewhat entertaining. Like it just generally is. So that's why I'm going to be taking YouTube more seriously. I'm going to try and put my all into it. Same with music, like I'm going to try and put my all into it. I'm going to try and like literally work on a song, because before I worked on a song for about not even a day. I mean, okay, obviously you can still make a song within a day, but like you can make a song in like a couple of hours and it can still sound like professional and hit the charts. But like more, because I know the Sidemen Christmas song called Christmas Drillings, they done that in about 6 or 7 hours. Like that was all in one day and it sounds like an actual proper song. But on a normal thing, you wouldn't really work for a song that long. And even then they had a team, not just me. So they don't just have one person, they had like a team. So that's probably explains it. But yeah, for now on, like every song that I make will probably take about 3 to 4 months to make, maybe even longer. Like, because I just want to like, you know, make it just as good as I can. Obviously, I've got my album. It's actually probably not going to come very soon. It's probably going to be like literally about a year's time, hopefully. So around this time next year, it should be like around the 25th or something of like June, I should hopefully have my album out. Obviously, I don't know yet. It depends how long it takes. But that's what I mean. I'm going to try and take that album more seriously. Like, I'm going to try and just take everything more seriously. Like, just work more harder on it. And like, try and make it as enjoyable as I can. Because before, like I said, I was literally working on a song for like a day, uploading it. And that's why you get like songs that just sound so bad. Like, I'm not going to say every single song I make is going to be perfect. Like, no. But I want to make it more better. But in reality though, like obviously my main thing I do mainly want to work on is YouTube. Like, because that is literally the main proper thing I do want to focus on is YouTube. Like, music I feel like probably is more of my side thing. But yeah, so in reality, I'm not really bothered if some people don't like my music, because I know my music might sometimes sound absolutely horrendous, but to be honest, I'm not even trying to do it to be like up there. Obviously, if I do get a song that blows up, I'll be grateful, and I'll probably, if that's the case, I probably will make it more of a focus. But music is more just something I just enjoy doing. Like, I know some of it might sound cringy or whatever, but in reality, I'm not really that bothered, because it's something I do enjoy doing. Like, even if I do have horrible singing vocals, even if I'm terrible at rapping, like, I just enjoy making music. Like, I just enjoy sitting there making the beats, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is good. Like, I like the beat. Like, I just like making the beats. I do like writing lyrics and all that. But yeah, obviously that's no excuse for obviously having horrible songs out there. Like, I don't even want to say one of them, but it'll probably be on the screen right now. But like, yeah, things like that is just obviously some songs that are obviously really bad, and obviously, yeah. Obviously, I'm still going to be avoiding that. Don't you worry. I'm going to still be avoiding that. I'm not saying I'm going to be making a song in one day, because I'm not. I will like work more harder on the songs, but I'm just saying in reality, it's not my main focus, so I'm not really as bothered. Because I think YouTube probably at the moment is more of a focus for me. So yeah, that's going to be more on even harder. Also, another thing I might have to warn people about is, you know how I try and get a video out every week on Sunday? Yeah, that might not be able to be the case anymore. Because I'm actually taking on this thing, which I'm actually starting on Monday. The day after, I'll be starting the day after this video gets uploaded. Like, I'm kind of taking on a labour job, which obviously I've been offered it. Obviously, I've been offered it, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be a permanent thing. It's only for like a little bit of like, it's only going to be for like a limited time. But obviously, if I do really enjoy it, I'll take it on as like a thing. So I might have to do it like 5 days a week. Obviously, I will have to I probably will finish at around 1 PM. So I guess I do have the rest of the day. But like, I'm just warning you guys out there, just in case I might have to change it to every 2 weeks instead. Obviously, I don't want that to be the case. But like, obviously, I'll try. If it's actually a thing that I'm actually going to do like 5 days a week, and it's not just like for a temporary thing, then I will, like, you know, still try and do a video once a week. But if not, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, I can just change to 2 weeks. But yeah, if that is the case, I do apologise. But I guess what I could do is, I guess I could try and do like, one highly edited video every week, and one highly edited video every 2 weeks, and one like little video, like a reaction every week. Which obviously, like, videos like that don't really take as videos like that don't really take as long to edit. Like a tier list, I could do a tier list that can take me like 5 minutes or whatever. Or, you know, or like a little short video like I did with like the bench PR video. Obviously, I know that's a video that I'm not really going to upload very often. I'll put it upload it as a short, but it was too long to be a short. But yeah, I'll obviously try and do little things like this here and there. I feel like it'll be absolutely fine. I personally feel like it'll be absolutely fine. But who knows? Who knows? But anyway, just to let you guys know that I might have to, like, you know, do different things. And obviously, like, now that I'm back from holiday from Spain, Mallorca, I did, like, I kind of made a promise to myself that when I get back to England, I'm just going to try and give it my all at everything. Like, just focus really hard on stuff. Like, try and take on so many opportunities as I can. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously try and work more on my brand and all stuff like this. Like, I want to do all these things, which hopefully I can achieve and I can do well and be successful in them. But yeah, that's the one promise I made to myself. Now, obviously, I do also want to talk about some recent events that have recently happened in my life, which some really good and some not as good and some kind of bad. Now, the first one obviously being recently, I'm talking about the past since like December last year, which I actually have been quite a few places. I've actually been... I've probably done more in the recent, like... What month is it now? Is it like 6th month? Yeah, I think it's the 6th month. Yeah, I think it is, yeah. But in the past 7 months, I feel like I've done more than I have in the past, like... Let's just say... Right, let's say... because obviously I'm talking about December 2024. I'm talking till now, which is June 2025. I'm saying that I've done, in this 7 months, I've done more than I did from about 2020 to like 2024. Yeah, I've done more in this 7 months than I have in 4 years. Obviously, these are past 4 years, from about 2020 to like the very start of 2024, maybe even till the end of 2024, which is like December. So yeah, I feel like I've done more in my life so far than I ever have, which is just like, Jesus Christ, I've just been into so many, and I'm actually in a quite happy place. Like, obviously, if you guys didn't know, I live with my sister. I mean, I don't know why you'd know that, but I thought I'd put it out there. And obviously, I moved in December. Obviously, I moved in with her in December. So obviously, that's also why I'm more happier. And obviously, yeah, and just loads of things have just been more happening, like just good things. But one of the bad things I do need to also address is recently, about 2 to 3 weeks ago, my uncle actually sadly passed away. Rest in peace to him. But obviously, I'm not going to say his name or anything. But yeah, when that happened, I didn't really know how to react because I've never really been close with him. Obviously, you know, I've been to Germany a few times. I've been to Germany twice. Like, I nearly had to go a third time. But yeah, basically, I do have family that do live in Germany. So that's the reason why I do go there a lot. Obviously, he is my German uncle. Obviously, he's half German, half English, but you get what I mean. I'm still going to call him German just because it makes life easier. He lives in Germany and has pretty much his whole life, so I'm just going to say he's German. But yeah, obviously, he's from my mum's side. Obviously, it's my mum's brother. And obviously, I'm not going to say any more than that because it's personal. But I've never really been like close with him, so I kind of... At first, I didn't really know how to react, but I feel like kind of in a way, it kind of made me fall down a little bit without really me knowing. Like, I was just becoming a bit more lazier and just like not really doing anything. And I'm thinking, sometimes that can happen to people. Like, you will genuinely, something might happen. You don't really know how to feel about it, but it does affect you, but kind of without you knowing. Like, I was still really happy, but I was just somehow just not doing certain things. Like, it's really confusing, but yeah. And I kind of do wish I was kind of a bit more close with him because, I mean, in a way, it's kind of not really my fault because I wasn't able to go to Germany for about 10 to 11 years before I did in December. Obviously, when I went in December, that was actually obviously his 60th birthday, which actually was pretty fun, and that actually was really good. And obviously, it being my nan's son, it's obviously devastating for that to obviously happen. Like, it was so unexpected because she was expecting it to be her because obviously she feels like she's getting to that age. So obviously for it to be like her son, that's very like random. I did not expect it to be him. But yeah. Also, I thought I might as well name another thing just quickly. This doesn't really come under a recent event, but actually technically it is. Because in a way, if you didn't know, my name is actually technically my whole name. I'm renamed after loads of people in my family. Like, that's what my name actually is. Obviously, that's how my name's structured. Obviously, I'm not going to say my full name because, I mean, my name is absolutely ginormous. But obviously, you're only going to know 2 names because obviously the rest of it I want to keep personal to myself. Which, obviously, you know my name as obviously you've probably seen it on like the Spotify credits or even my second like Instagram account, which is obviously kind of a more personal one that I use, you know me as Frankee Reddings. Obviously, that's obviously, I've got a way bigger name than that. I've got like 2 others, but like 2 or 3 others. But yeah, obviously one of my names actually being like kind of a similar name to my uncle's, obviously renamed after him, because obviously, yeah, now I say my name is now kind of relevant. It kind of now is its purpose, because before, all the family members that I'm named after were always still alive and still very, very healthy. So now that that's happened, obviously it's bad that it's happened, but like my name kind of is now getting to its use. Do you get what I mean? Because obviously my whole name, I've just been renamed after people. Like, that's obviously how my full name is. And yeah, I mean, my first name is double-barreled, but obviously my first name's double-barreled. And obviously you know my last name, but obviously I feel like a double-barreled part of my first name, well, for one, I hate the double-barreled part of my first name. I don't like being called that. But at the same time, I also do kind of want to keep it personal. Obviously at some point, I may say it, but for this moment in time, I want to keep it kind of to myself and a few other things. Obviously, maybe here and there, like if I ever, like, someone might say it, obviously, or it might just be said. What the hell? Some random car. Actually, it's kind of scared me, but like I'm saying, obviously at some point I may say it or go into detail, but at this moment in time, I want to keep that kind of private to myself, and hopefully you guys do understand. But obviously that's also where Frankee Red comes on. It's obviously from Frankee Reddings. That's obviously where, you know, Frankee Red's from also as well. But yeah. But also, one more thing I want to get into, or actually no, the second to last thing I want to get into is I do want to kind of, I've always kind of wanted to tell you guys a little story of my life. Now, obviously, I will touch on this in a video in some point in the future. So I'm just going to give you like the little nutshell of it. But in another video, I will go into like mass kind of detail. Like, obviously, there's still some things I won't be able to say. Obviously, names of people I won't be able to say. But other than that, I'll go into more detail. Obviously, like where I was brought up, how I was brought up, what happened. But in this little short period of time that I'll probably touch on it for about maybe 5 something minutes, I just want to give just like a little kind of thing about it. So it's going to be very, very short. And just a little kind of how my life's been kind of for the past, like, I'd say like 5 years. No, like 7 years actually. How my life's been for the past 7 years. But anyway, if you guys didn't know, I was in something called foster care. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what foster care is, I'll try and give a little brief explanation of what it is. Basically, foster care is kind of, it's similar to adoption, but the people who look after you aren't legally your parents or aren't classed as your parents. There's basically people who have been through a process for about 6 months and trained and like, yeah, qualified to actually be able to look after children. Whether they have their own children or not, you still have to go through it. And obviously, sometimes you may hear people, obviously, some people might say, oh, I'm in foster care. That's obviously because it's just they're being looked after by adults because obviously they're not able to live at their home. And what I mean by home is with their parents, whether of massively vast amount of reasons. But sometimes it could be because the parents have died or whatever. But yeah, normally foster care is normally for people who are normally above the age of like 2. Because obviously when they're young, let's say like your kid, let's just say there's a kid that's parents have died at like, when the kid was like 6 months old, and then obviously they go up for adoption. Whereas let's just say, for example, like your parents died when you were like 12, yeah, and you weren't able to live there, and obviously none of your family can have them. Obviously, you then have to go into foster care. But yeah, obviously there's many more reasons than that, but obviously that's not what that is. But yeah, I firstly went into foster care. Actually, no. I'm going to go a bit more before that. Obviously, when I was around pushing at 11, I think I just turned 10 at the time. Obviously, I had to go to live with my aunt, which obviously, if you're under social... I mean, I was under the foster system. I was under the fostering care system when I was around 9 and a half. Which obviously, fostering system is obviously not just when you're in foster care. It can also be via kingship as well, which a kingship is similar to foster care, but it's when you're just living with a family member. And obviously there's social services involved. Now, obviously they still kind of go through the same process. But yeah, when I was around about just turned 10, I don't know if it's exactly that, but... No, I didn't just turn 10. I think I was like 10 and a half at the time, actually. Yeah, I was 10 and a half, around 10 and a half. I obviously got told I had to go live with my aunt. So, yeah, I moved in with my aunt. And the English one, by the way, not the Germany one. But at this time, obviously, I was obviously young. And, you know, I didn't really understand what was going on. And it kind of pains me because now, as I'm older, I understand the whole situation, and I kind of wish I knew more at the time, but yeah. And over time, obviously, because I was young and stupid. Okay, not maybe young and stupid, but you get what I mean. But I was obviously young and I didn't really understand anything that was going on, so I kind of started to kind of be a little bit argumentative. And I think this is where kind of stress and stuff was kind of getting to me. Obviously, I didn't take it out on my aunt and uncle or my cousin. I didn't take it out on them. Obviously, it might seem like it, but truly I didn't mean any of that. I think they probably don't really care anymore. But yeah, obviously I kind of started to be a bit kind of like probably more like 11-year-old behaviour, like 10-year-old behaviour, like just a little bit silly. But yeah. Then obviously, which then it got sorted out, and like I was living there for 6 months. Around 4 months in, we sorted out all the problems, and then the next 2 months was fine. Until a social worker from the fostering team made probably the worst decision they can ever make. Or as I call, the biggest mistake that someone's made about my life, or probably one of the biggest mistakes, that I had to go into foster care. Now, at the time, I didn't understand whatever this was, so I didn't really was bothered because I didn't know. But now that I'm older, that was probably the worst decision they could have made at that very point in time. Now, I'm not saying foster care is a bad thing, but for me personally, I can't stand it. Like, for me personally, I can't stand it. I'm not in foster care anymore, but yeah, it's what it is. But just the experience, I mean, at least the experience that I had with foster care was absolutely horrible. Like, the experience that I had to go through in foster care was absolutely horrible. And I wish no one ever has to go through something like how I had to kind of go through. I know some people do, that also I know personally, and it's just horrible. But yeah, obviously at that time, this was around... Obviously, this exactly happened when literally the very first summer holiday of me leaving year 6, primary school, which that made it even worse because I was so excited to spend the summer with my aunt and uncle and my cousin, because I know they do a lot of stuff. Like recently, I know they went to a summertime ball with like so many people who sing and obviously like rapping. Obviously, you know, it's in Wembley in the UK. But they go to loads of things like that. So that's why I was more excited. But obviously that had to be ruined. But by some stupid person who decided to make a big mistake and pretty much ruin the whole system. But it doesn't matter. But obviously then I moved to somewhere else. Again, this was for about 6 months. Again, something very similar happened. The first like 4 months, like the first 3 to 4 months were absolutely fine. Then the last 2 months, I think again the stress and all that was kind of getting to me. So I feel like I started to play up a little bit even more. And then it got to a point where obviously again, I had to move. But yeah, this time I moved to the place that I was for 5 years, which 5 years, half a decade, is a very long time. And that actually is kind of impressive for sometimes a foster placement, because a lot of time foster placements always break down most of the time. It never lasts very long at all. But surprisingly, this one lasted very long. But this 5 years at this new placement, which was the second placement I've been to at that time, obviously not anymore. At that time, this was around 2019 actually, I moved in. And this one was like, it's weird because this placement was very good, but at the same time, kind of torture in a way. Okay, maybe not torture, but that's probably me over-exaggerating a bit. But you kind of get what I'm trying to say. Like, it was very good, but also very, very horrible at the same time. Now, I'd say personally, the first year and a half, I'd say was fine. Obviously, the same similar things happened at my past places. But it just was handled normally, because obviously this guy was more, it was a guy, this one. He was more of a trained person to deal with behaviour. Now, for me personally, I'm not even trying to like be a dickhead, but in my opinion, I see that as absolute BS. Because there's no physical way, especially from what happened with me, there's no physical way that someone knows, especially like, but anyway, I'm not going to get into it because, yeah. Of course, I had to bring a cup of tea along this session, guys. But anyway, like obviously, the first like year and a half, like obviously, let's say I started to play up. All it would be is like, Frankie, don't do that, please. Done. Left. Like, I need to be moved on. Which, I mean, like I said, is absolutely fine because I was young. I was like 11 still, nearly 12. So I'm bound to look like 12-year-olds are bound to be silly. But then when it kind of turned to me being like about 13, this is when a simple telling off kind of started to become kind of picking on a little bit. Instead of them saying, Frankie, don't do that, please, it would then be, Frankie, don't do that, you're being immature. Which, again, is nothing wrong with saying that. But for me personally, especially with someone who would have behavioural issues, because a lot of time people in foster care, I'm not trying to be horrible, but a lot of time they do have sometimes additional needs and also kind of behavioural issues, which I kind of did a little bit. Obviously, it's way improved since then, but like, yeah. But especially to someone who's got a behavioural issue, you won't want to say little things like that because you know, because it will pee them off. Let's just say to someone who's like got a behavioural issue, and obviously they'll get really angry really quickly. If you just say, don't do that, please, there's nothing they can kind of take seriously or as an insult. Because you're just saying, don't do that, please. But you're literally just setting it as on. But let's say you say, don't do that, like you're being stupid or whatever, or just like adding like something that you just don't need to say. Like, you know what I mean? Like just little things odd. And obviously, a lot of time it was way worse than that, but like, I'm just trying to say for as an example. Or like sometimes it might be like, let's just say it got into like an argument. It'd then like be saying like, well, can I give an example? For example, like, it didn't add on something saying like, why do you think like, you're in foster care or something? And I'm thinking, excuse me? Like, it just kind of, in my opinion, it kind of turned into like more of a bullying in a way. Now, I don't give a crap whoever's watching this, because they know I am truly right in what I'm saying. I'll admit I was still sometimes a bit of an idiot, but my intention was to never hurt someone or actually truly be really bad. But in that place, I was made out to be such a person that I am not. Which I think is still in the fostering, like, notes and, like, whatever they have. Documents and stuff, like, obviously it's still I think it's in their documents of all the things that write down that who I was and about what apparently I am, when it's never true. Like, it's just made up stuff, and it's kind of now me viewed as a person that I'm not, and it's just like, why do you have to make up such BS about who I am? Because it just ruins me. But yeah, obviously it just got over the years, it got worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point where at the time we were having 2 other people living there, and it got to the point where anything I physically do is somehow angering or upsetting someone. And then it was getting to the point where I was being made to feel like I'm the issue, and it's making me feel like, what is my point in being in this world? Obviously, I don't feel like that anymore, because I am actually very happy in my life at the moment. But I'm just saying this because this is how I felt at the time. Like, because every single day I was being made to feel like a mistake by my parents. I was being made to feel like anything I physically do, I'm somehow hurting someone's feelings or making someone so stressed out, even though I haven't even done anything wrong. Like, for example, let's just say I accidentally done something wrong. Like, I might have done the wrong thing, and then I get told off for it. Completely normal. Apparently that then angers other people and apparently in the house, and like apparently stresses them out or whatever, and then it comes back on me, and also they make up stuff about me, which I'm doing, I'm like, so I physically can't do anything wrong without apparently being classed as an idiot, or like whatever. Like, I just don't understand, like, why? It just doesn't make any sense, because like, that's just not normal. What I had to go through is not normal, especially if you're classed as a trained professional, and apparently you got a degree in behaviour psychology. Bullshit. But obviously it got super bad to the point, obviously, I begged my new social worker at the time to move me. I literally begged them, like, please get me out of here. I do not want to live here anymore. Then it happened. But on the day of me moving out of that place, I did still feel a bit upset. Now, you're probably thinking, why would you feel upset in a place that was kind of abusive? Well, there is more. It kind of is abusive, but I'm not going to get into that stuff at the moment. All right, fine, I'll get into it. Sometimes, yes, I was someone's hit in a foster place, and now they're all going to deny it, but deny it all you want, because at the time I had marks on my arms and everywhere, so don't even go there. For whoever's watching this, who obviously lived there with me or in that placement or even the care of themselves, I don't care. You know I'm right, so don't even try and bullshit me with these excuses, because I had marks on myself. That's all I need to say. But obviously, I know it seems really weird. Obviously, when my social worker to pick me up and I was in their car and I left the house, I did still feel very upset, because even though it was really kind of bad for me and kind of really affected me to the point where I completely feel so insecure about anything about who I am, and I'm only just working on getting it back, and I feel like I'm kind of succeeding, but it's still been such a long process. Like, it's been a couple of years since then, and it's still, like, it's been about a year since then, actually, not a couple of years. But it's just like, why? Like, it's still taken me this much, like over like about a year, and I still haven't succeeded in getting it. Which is just like, I used to be a very confident person, but I was made to feel so locked away, and I kind of did lock myself away, and it just ruined everything about me. But obviously, the reason why I was upset is because it felt like home, even though yes, it was bad, but that's still what I knew as home, because I didn't know anywhere else where I lived. So that's why I felt upset. Obviously, I know I've said where I lived was horrible, and yes, the carer himself, he is actually an amazing guy. He is very nice, but I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like it's just a very big confusion thing. I think it was just a big kind of, I don't know how to say it, but like, just, I don't think we were meant to kind of live with each other, or I don't think it was kind of a match. Because like they say sometimes there's a match, like you get a carer and a child, and sometimes they just match, they like click and they just get along really well. Like, we did get along, but I feel like personally, I didn't really understand him. I don't think he really understood me. Obviously, there's some things that he done that I do not agree with and should never have happened. But I'm a person where I can move on from something. So I have generally moved on. I still sometimes speak to him now. But yeah, I move on from things. I'm not a person who just carry it on because there's no need to. And plus, what is it going to affect me now? Obviously, I kind of did state, yeah, it kind of has affected me to the point where I'm still only just recovering from getting back who I truly was. But it's whatever. It's a life lesson learned for me now. But yeah, anyway, I'm not trying to say that he's nasty because he is a very nice person. But yeah, anyway, I was moved to the very last place before I kind of exited foster care, which is good. Which I feel like that's my last very last foster placement. And plus, after what I had to go through, this was so lovely. This was like a paradise for me. Because the family was so nice. Honestly, the family was so nice. And it's just amazing. Like, also, I thought I was going to save this for the video where I do my life story. But I might even just say it now. I'm probably just going to say it now. But obviously, you know, I'm a white British person. I had to move in, which I've never had before, but I moved in with an African family. Actually, a Kenyan family, a family from Kenya. Which is actually, at first, it felt very odd for me because I was thinking, hold on, I shouldn't really be here. Like, I'm not trying to be like horrible or anything, but obviously, let's just say you have to live with people who are like completely different culture to you. It kind of feels weird. So like the first like month, I feel like I kind of felt uncomfortable. But after that, I settled in very quickly, and I was like, these people are so nice. I mean, a lot of time Christians are going to be very nice people. Like, they were just so lovely. And for me, after what I've been through, like me coming through the door and being like, Frankie, how's your dad? And like generally interested in what I've been doing. I was thinking, hold on, this ain't normal. This ain't what I'm used to. So that, personally, I still talk to the family now. So, because again, they're just really nice. I'll talk to them more. Well, it's mainly just a lady that I talk to, but obviously I did know the family as well. But yeah, that kind of made me kind of have more manners and respect, and kind of start to like interacting. Obviously, it was still scary, but like I kind of, for me, was actually decent. But like normally in the past place, if I went through the door, no one would really care that I'm here. Whereas, like, I walk in like this placement, and then they're like, "Hey Frankie, how are you? Do you want something to eat or whatever?" I'm like, what? I'm like, sorry? You're actually respecting me? You're respecting me as a human? I'm like, what? This is new. This is actually, like, that did make me smile. Obviously at first I was thinking, this doesn't seem right, but it just, like, yeah. And I lived there obviously I actually moved there on my prom day actually, which is actually funny. So yeah, 5th of July actually I had to move there, and I was there till about December 15th, I think it was. December 15th, I think I moved in with my sister, and yeah. So there, that's obviously what I had to do. That's obviously what happens. And yeah, obviously there's way more things that happened in these events, like, and these times, but I just wanted to personally just explain that to you guys, because I feel like personally, it's just something I feel like I just needed to say. But yeah. Now, there is one more thing I do want to talk about. And obviously, like I kind of said in the recent events, but I feel like I've finally found myself. And what I mean by that is that I'm just happy with how I am now. I'm just happy with everything. And like, I feel like in a way where I feel like I found who I am. I feel like I found my style. Like, I feel like I found like just my personality. I feel like I've just found things about me. And I feel like I kind of finally found what my purpose is and who I can be and all this. And I'm just proud. So yeah, obviously like my style, obviously I know at the moment I've got a bit weird things. My hair looks a bit terrible, the reason why I've got this in. But like, and obviously I probably will be, obviously this also just keeps the hair out of my face as well. But like, obviously I got these earrings, and we might not be able to see them, but I'll probably zoom in on them. But obviously there, I got them from Mallorca. Like, I feel like at this kind of time I'm happy with my style. Obviously my style will always like evolve. I'll always evolve. But I'm just saying, I probably will be the same, because I just feel like I'm now proud and I'm just happy with who I am and just what goes on. Some of the people I still get, some of the people I still have around me aren't the best, or sometimes I might attract some people that are not really good for me. But like, I don't just mean attract as in like girls, I also mean just like general, just anyone. I mean, a lot of time I still somehow attract girls who are like kind of not off-putting, but like people who like not intentionally, they'll kind of ruin what you do, but unintentionally, because obviously it's a girlfriend or a girl. Obviously you're gonna want to spend time with them and all that. So sometimes they unintentionally kind of take you away from what you're originally meant to do, which I've had a few of them. But yeah, other than that, I feel like I'm going to learn to now, I feel like I've now kind of learned to say no. Or even like, I don't do this very often, but I feel like I'm confident enough to even just go up to a girl on the street and be like, hey, I think you're beautiful, what's your number or something. I feel like I've actually got that confidence now. Like, I mean, I don't even know where it came from. I just somehow just done it. But, or just talking to people. Like, I just feel like I'm just more better at talking to people. Which is just, yeah, is good. But anyway, guys, that's obviously the video, obviously. But in conclusion of what I've basically been trying to say in this video is I'm going to be taking YouTube and all that way more seriously. I'm just going to work more harder on it. I also do, obviously, in the gym as well. I'm going to try and work my arse off for that. I'm just going to, like, try hard at everything. Like, I'm just going to give so many things a go. I'm going to try as much, and I'm going to try my hardest to get into as many things as possible. Like, whether that's, like, I don't know, something on TV or just, like, whatever, like, anything. I'll try and take on anything to do with, like, the wide world and, like, kind of big companies, and I'll try and do whatever I can. But, yeah, that's obviously the video that obviously I wanted to give you guys. I've kind of wanted to explain things like this for a while, but I just never got around to doing it. But yeah. Anyway, guys, hit that subscribe and like button down below. Appreciate it a lot if you do that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, which will be Gmod with Helmet Productions, which will be coming 2 days after this one. But yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next one. See ya.
Below it, hit on the bass and below it. bass if reload it, reload it, reload it. Hit on the bass if reload it.